Hi, this is Yan Wang. You guys can call me Philip, the team leader of Yoyofriends, and today we're going to do an overview on the Yoyofriends Tachyon 2. Alright, so Yoyofriends, the manufacturer FPM, and us yo-yo players across the world on the Yoyofriends team combine together to make awesome yo-yos, great yo designs, push the limits of yo manufacturing, get back to the community, and all that stuff. Alright, so Tachyon 2 is naturally the next version, or the upgrade, in a way, of the Tachyon 1. So, well, not Tachyon 1, it's just a Tachyon, right? So Tachyon is actually my idea back in 2019 or 2020, somewhere around there. My idea of, okay, so we had the Hummingbird 1, like the original Hummingbird back in the 2017, around there. This is one of the fastest yo-yo back then. I was like, how do we make a yo even faster than this? So my idea back then was make a V shape / H shape for stability, and I keep dropping the weight until this yo is faster than the Hummingbird. So that's the ideology behind the Tachyon 1. However, now in 2025, 2026, this yo is a little bit outdated, just a little bit, because of a little bit too narrow, and also the Tachyon, the gap width is not, it's well under 4.50 millimeters. So that is not too friendly for strings nowadays, for the people who use thicker strings for whippier tricks and trick shotting and all that stuff. So now we want to do a Tachyon 2. This was a prototype, but we did not change a single thing, so same yo-yo. All right, Tachyon 2. So now I was like, okay, how much more width do we add? And I was like, how about we make it so it's not a complete like super wide meta competition, because I want this to be still built for speed, not necessarily the modern competition where you're trying to push mid 50 millimeter to almost 60 plus millimeter, right? I want this to have the heritage of Tachyon, the original Tachyon, and that is speed. I just want this to be an update, and everything about this is speed. I don't care how wide this goes. So 48, I think, is a sweet spot because of, I think the Peregrine X is also 48. So yeah, they're around the same width. Peregrine X is also fast. So I think 48 is like a very good middle ground between like being wide and also be super fast. So 48 millimeter is the width, and the profile is the same. It's a stretched out yo-yo. And I want this yo to be fast, and we know that there is absolutely basically no center weight here. This is just a tiny hub. This is 8 millimeter axle, so definitely nothing is going on for the center weight. So we don't want to use like a super aggressive wrap around outer ring like the Peregrine X and also the Melty, where they're going absolutely crazy with the ring. We want this to not to be super rim weighted, where it's like not where it's affecting the speed. So we kept the ring design of the Tachyon, original Tachyon, carried over. The gap width is now updated to 4.52. Is it 4.52 or 4.54? Somewhere around there. So it's modern gap width. So now it ensures when you use thicker strings, you can buy no problem. And also the weight has increased just slightly, just a bit. We know that we're not gonna make a yo-yo faster than the original Tachyon, but I want this yo-yo, the goal of this yo-yo is to have speed and control and sustained speed. Sustained speed is its main focus. So Tachyon, you can have that burst of speed that's never gonna get beat. However, if you want to sustain a long rail combo on this yo, this should be better. So the weight has up by around 2 grams to now around 62 grams. Okay, so that's the first look of this yo-yo, and here's the full spec. All right, smoothness on this prototype, which is production, same thing. I didn't change anything. Dead smooth as usual. Shout out to the manufacturer, and yeah. All right, power on this yo is actually a lot more powerful because of the weight increase and also the width, right? We also tweaked the weight distribution so the ring is much heavier than the Tachyon, the original Tachyon. So in physics, adding both width and diameter, we didn't add diameter, but adding width also makes the SS ring or the momentum a lot heavier and also away from the center axle. So this is still making the yo-yo a lot more powerful because the weight distribution is now further away from the center. So even at 62 grams, when we played it at 2025 US National Yo-Yo Contest, a bunch of us yo-yo fans paired together tried it, and some of us even think this yo-yo is heavy because of the weight distribution. That's how powerful this yo-yo is. You can go very long combo. It feels super light still, not as light as Tachyon 1, but still very light feeling. But when you bind after a while, it's still very, very powerful. So power is actually great, even at 62 grams. Stability, I think it's a highlight. This is a massive upgrade over the Tachyon 1. In short bursts, the stability is around the same. However, if you are doing a sustained speed combo, I am very, very washed as I don't yo-yo much anymore. But as you can see here, I am at my wash state doing sustained speed combo. This is going crazy. I'm having absolutely zero trouble at all. And even after all that, this yo-yo, even I actually touched the yo-yo on accident, it's still spinning very well. So the goal of this yo-yo is refine and control and also sustain speed combo on this yo-yo. You can override it more than the Tachyon, the original Tachyon. You can just override it if you want to and go along with the yo-yo. This is a yo-yo for relocation and acceleration, right? This yo-yo will teleport because of power stability. And if you override it, if you want the yo-yo to teleport faster, override it at your own risk. But you can, if you're that pro player, go ahead. So acceleration is also great. It is actually acceleration at top speed or burst top speed is slightly slower than the Tachyon, I'm not gonna lie, because physics, right? It's heavier, it's wider, the momentum it's more, it takes a little bit to get going. However, at sustained top speed, there's no stability drop off, or the drop off is much later. And if you are a pro player, you can even override this yo-yo if you want for more speed, but I'm not good enough for that. But if you are, then go ahead. So sustained top speed and acceleration is the best yet in the Yoyofriends lineup. Flow, it's basically not, there's no center weight, just giant rings and V/A shape goodness. No float or flow. So horizontals on this yo is great. So now with the added width, so now it's 48, it's much easier to land. It's not gonna be one of those meta yo like 50 plus or 60 millimeter to landing horizontal. However, because of the speed of this yo-yo and also the increase, oh my god, I am failing. Because of the increased weight and also speed of this yo-yo, it is very good in horizontal. I'm just not doing it because I'm really washed, but we'll try. So yeah, you can go fast. This yo-yo is just built for speed. In horizontal situations, this yo-yo is also fast. I was just playing the Heron, so I'm not used to the sudden burst of speed on this yo-yo. That's why it took me a little while to adjust. But yeah, this yo-yo is even too fast for me as I become not that great at yo-yoing. So that's a horizontal. So balance here is also great because of the weight distribution. Even though the gap width have significantly increased, it still binds fine. I'm actually binding fine with KD normal, even though this is like 4.52 to 4.54. So use any string, just not like thin strings or fish line like thin. Even KD normal first class, I'm binding fine. Well, yeah, mostly fine. So any string you want on there. Okay, finger grind, very good, 70-75, B-boss it, no problem whatsoever. Thumb grind, no problem, there is a lip. So you can thumb grind. Finger spin is very average, as this is basically a flat cup on the side and there's a little nub in the middle. So it will like kind of wobble around, so it's just average. So yeah, so that is the Tachyon 2. This is the updated version of our fastest yo-yo. So conclusion, this is the best yo-yo in Yoyofriends, maybe out there, period. I don't want to say that like 100%, but that's what I believe. So in terms of sustained speed and combo, if you want to go super fast without losing stability and this yo-yo is ultra light. You just want a super fast yo-yo. This is a new king for Yoyofriends. And if you want a super fast like burst of acceleration, this is not gonna beat the original Tachyon, of course, because of this much wider, it's heavier. You can see just how much wider this is because how the modern yo-yos have shifted the meta. So it's just wider and heavier. It's not gonna beat it in top speed of and acceleration of the original one. However, this one actually beats both the Hummingbird 2 in terms of speed and power, and also it beats the Peregrine X in speed. It also beats the Melty in speed barely. Melty is really, really fast. So the speed of this yo, it's slightly faster, I would say, than the Da Vinci, and also slightly faster than the Hummingbird 1, not 2, so Hummingbird 1. So we made sure this yo-yo and Tachyon is still the 2 speed king of Yoyofriends, and this is what the ultimate sustained speed and real combo yo-yo out there for you. If you want to light, nice to play with, light to play with, you just want this yo-yo to teleport, this is one for you. So thank you all for watching and see you guys next time. Bye!